let's get started. So I had typhoid fever. Let me see if I can. There we go. Table of contents. Okay. So introduction. All right. So what is typhoid fever? So it is a bacterial infection that comes largely from contaminated food, water, or sewage. It is caused by Salmonella typhi or paratyphi. So with proper treatment, there's a very high cure rate, but if it's untreated, it can be fatal. So it causes delirium and intestinal hemorrhage. In some cases, it sometimes even causes death. So causes of typhoid fever. So contaminated water. That's a very big one. If you eat or drink something that is contaminated with that salmonella and it enters your body and your body's not able to fight off that infection, then that's when you have that typhoid fever. Then the fecal oral, so contaminated urine or feces that gets transmitted into your mouth, whether that's through water or food, that also causes that typhoid fever. Then the hands to mouth. So bringing our hands to our mouth without washing our hands. So that means going to the restroom and we didn't wash our hands and we eat afterwards and we eat with our hands, then that's a hands to mouth transmission. Then we have sewage. So that sewage gets discharged into the water, which then gets transmitted to the sea animals such as fish. And we eat that fish. That also causes typhoid fever because it's also a form of ingestion. All right, prevention. So the number one and best prevention for this is washing your hands to avoid this transmission. For example, washing those hands after using the restroom, before we, just to make sure that our hands do not have that bacteria or that infection on them. Next, the immunization. So receiving the typhoid vaccine can help so you don't have that severity of the typhoid. It will not relieve it 100%, but it will lessen the severity of it. So therefore, that's a good prevention method to take. So control of hygiene. Having a good control of that hygiene. Washing your hands after you use the restroom. Washing your fruits and vegetables. Cooking your meat and fruit all the way. And making sure that personally, you're having a very good hygiene. Again, washing your hands. Cleaning your counters. Washing your dishes. Anything that can prevent all that salmonella from spreading. So the innovative preventive method. So what I did was decide to make a DIY make-at-home sanitizer. This is targeted toward those areas such as Nigeria, where it's more common to have this typhoid. So what you do is you buy that aloe vera. I did some research, and apparently right now there's a trend with having aloe vera farms. So it is quite common to have it there. You buy it whole, then you mush it up. You can either such as like blending it or mushing it with your hands, and you make it into a gel. Then you grab a mixing bowl. You add 2/3 of a cup of rubbing alcohol. Make sure that it's 70% alcohol. Then you add 1/3 cup of aloe vera. You mix that up, and if you want to, you can add any oil such as rosemary, but that's optional. That's for smell, and that creates a hand sanitizer. This will help prevent stop that thyroid because the number one way to stop it is by washing your hands. But again, sometimes there are places where you do not have access to that water, and that creates a barrier there. So by making this and having it with you, say after you come out of work and you have your hands dirty and you're about to eat, grab some of the hand sanitizer and make it into that kind of pouch that it's targeted here in the red one. Or if you're at home, you put it in the bottle. And that's an easy method way just to stop spreading it and so that your hands are clean. Because that is one of the most ways to transmit it, which is the hands to your mouth. So having a clean space, you can also clean your counters with that. Anything and cleaning your hands just to make sure that your hands are clean and you're not spreading it to the food you're going to eat or touching your mouth with that as a form of ingestion. So that is it. Thank you very much for having me here and being able to listen to my presentation.
Okay, so really, Carolina, I can say that you have a wonderful presentation put together there that is by your team. Okay, and I can see that you guys have done a lot of work in getting all those resources together. The most part I like about your presentation include the detail, how detailed you were on the presentation on the prevention part. The beauty is prevention, they said, is better than cure. through prevention, you make them save a lot of dollars, you make them save life, okay, and you make them save or maybe create a lot of convenience because spending time going to the clinic, treatment and all that takes time and so much inconvenience. So I love the fact that you guys consider that as well while putting this presentation together. And I also love the part you come up with this affordable way of prevention by doing this DIY sanitizer making that one can easily make from home. I will say that that comes from so much consideration of the economic status of the participant in mind for you to come up with that. So well done. I can say that you guys have done a great job. Congratulations, and I'm proud of you guys. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right,
Yeah,
doctor.
Carolina, that was a beautiful presentation. I must confess, you did a wonderful job. Okay, it's a group thing, so you all did a wonderful job. Okay, so I like your slides. Your slides are beautiful, and I also like the fact that you had few words in the slides. It makes it easy to follow. Okay, so few words, pictures, and it was easy for me to follow the presentation. All right, so that was beautiful. I love that about the presentation. Okay, so I also could want to add that you could have an outline at the start of the presentation. It gives us a whole picture of what you're trying to tell us in the presentation. It goes a long way. Once the outline is seen, I know that okay, you're trying to talk about this, you're trying to talk about this. So I try to streamline my thoughts such that I'll be thinking about prevention, treatment, or things like that about the subject matter. All right. So I also like the prevention part there. As I will say, prevention is better than cure. Definitely, you're saving them a lot of money. You're saving them a lot of heartbreaks. You're saving them, a lot of things because the complications of typhoid fever, as we know, there's death. Okay, you're even saving them a lot of psychological trauma that could result from typhoid fever because I have a relative that suffered typhoid fever and he's died. I'm gonna grieve at the end of the day. It will get me depressed and things like that. So you're saving them a lot. You're saving them money. You're saving them, their lives in general. Trying to save them a lot of things. So it's commendable. So the hand washing there, the picture of the someone trying to wash his hands. I really think might not really be enough. You probably could go the extra mile of teaching them how to properly wash their hands, okay, because there are like about around 6 to 7 steps of hand washing. So if you do not wash your hand the way it's supposed to be washed, you might not really be preventing the typhoid as you want it to be prevented. Okay, so it's not enough for someone to just get water, wash his hands like in few seconds, and he's done. And he actually practically or scientifically hasn't washed his hands. So he needs to know what proper hand washing is. So including that in the presentation will also go a long way in sending the message to the target audience. Okay, so showing them in the presentation will go a long way. I'm very sure the WHO has like recommended guidelines for hand washing and things like that. Okay, so that would make it excellent and complete. Okay, all right, then probably we also have more, the references. It's a presentation. You definitely have resources. You consulted before making up the presentation. So acknowledging those sources will go a long way in making your presentation a beautiful one. Although it's already beautiful, okay. So just making it better than what we have now. But I think generally the message has been portrayed, right? So the intentions are very good and to save millions of people and save millions of lives. So I commend you for your efforts. That's beautiful. That's excellent. And thank you. Okay. All right.
Right, Caroline, this is really amazing. I just have to give it to you. I can't believe that this is just like one person presentation, but it looks like the whole team presentation to me. You put so much work and your presentation clearly shows that you understand every single aspect of what you have learned the past week. So that really makes me excited. And then give out all the necessary details about how you want to carry out the activity, how you want to send out the information about safety, all these things. It's really amazing. I'm really proud of you. I can't tell you more than that. You actually nail it. You make it very simple and precise. And this is exactly what people are looking for, to have just a simple information that they can retain, and can be able to make use of it. So it's really important that you take that into consideration. And for you to actually even have the courage to present it alone, it's the best part of this presentation. I really have to give it to you. So thank you so much for making such an amazing presentation and for giving us all the detailed information and showing us that you actually understand what is going on in the other part of the world. And you have learned thoroughly about this disease. It's really an incredible thing that that no one, I think, can pull that together in just a couple of days. So congratulations, and I'm really proud of you, Carl.
Thank you.
All right, one moment show's over. Congratulations, Carolina. Thank you for doing that and doing that alone. That is very impressive. All right, I'm gonna put you back down. Have a good.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me do it alone and working with my schedule. I appreciate it. And thank you to everyone for the feedback. Thank you.
No worries. Have a good life. Jessica, you can stop recording.